Hello, everybody. Got some more Wingspan today with the always needed coffee. Hope everyone's weekend's been good. Let's see what we got here. We got the bowl nest at the end. This other nest type. You know what? Let's take a second to look at like the rules and figure out what the name of these things are. It's been long enough where I keep calling things whatever I feel like it. Maybe like the instructions and stuff are not accessible within a game. I'd have to like go back to the main menu. Anytime you start a game, you can resume it from the main menu. So this won't be lost. So let's go back to the main menu. And let's look at, let's see, settings. I guess look at birds. Maybe you're healed, we'll have nest tooltips. Yeah, it'd be really nice if they had like a little tooltip here. Oh, they have a... Hello. You can listen to the bird call. Let's listen to the song sparrow. I bet you the songs... Yeah, that's a cute little tweet. What does the California condor sound like? It's kind of harsh. Much needed Wingspan with much needed coffee. Yeah, surprisingly, they don't have like a access to like a rule book in here. It's all good. Yeah, it's cool that in the spirit of the game where it's like, you know, also learn about birds while you play a game. The video game version has done things along those lines. Alright, so we got a bull bird here, and we got some of the first round bird types. Yeah, I might grab those because they're forest birds, first round bird type. I'd want to play them early anyway. Yeah, let's grab the screech owl. Maybe give it a mouse to eat. And do the pygmy nuthatch. Let's see what our game bonus cards are. Ooh, birds that eat mice. And then also birds that got that predatory power, which the Eastern Screech Owl does. So, Oh, they're each two victory points per bird, so we don't have to like meet a threshold. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to predict which one I'd get more of. I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna go with mouse. But who knows? All right, pygmy nuthatch. Actually, you know what? I'm kind of thinking I want to do the Baird Sparrow. Yeah. I got a poster when I went to see Mission Impossible, but I hung it up crooked over there. You can't see it in the camera. But every time I look over at him, I'm like, I gotta go fix that. It's crooked. Tom Cruise. He wouldn't like being crooked.
Screech owl. These owls live near humans, but because they're small and nocturnal, they're rarely seen.
Why can't I be small and nocturnal? I guess I kind of am.
Baird Sparrow. Spencer Baird was the first curator of the Smithsonian.
I could get this merganser. I probably have enough time to play it. But it's not just birds of that nest type, it's eggs in it. So I also need to consider what capacity of eggs I have the time to fill. But let's just grab it anyway. Yeah, he's always like hanging from buildings and like hanging off aircraft. Alright, we'll just grab a rodent. Aw. Now we can play this bird, and then we can lay eggs for 2 turns. I think that'll pretty much guarantee us the round bonus.
Common merganser. Adult males can eat fish more than a foot long.
They're just showing off. Beautiful. This will give us a bunch of eggs to work with, too, for getting extra cards and playing a few birds. Oops, that's not what I meant to click. Oh yeah. The second place only had 1 egg. Okay, let's grab this bowl. So we get one of those. And I probably should spend an egg to get an extra card. I guess we could do the Ruddy Duck. Nope, I don't want to take an egg from this one. I want to take an egg from this one. Alright, American Goldfinch and Ruddy Duck. No fish rolled. A lot of times I play these birds early that have the roll ability and end up getting nothing. So here's where there is the temptation to spend a card and be able to play the Goldfinch more quickly. I'm tempted. I might do it, because I can just, you know, pick up more cards. The ability of it, though, like, because when I play it, I get 3 grain. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. If I required activation of it to get the benefit, I might not do it, but in this case, I get extra food right away, which I can use for whatever bird I then pick up. Wait, go back. So if I re-roll... Oh, I hope I get lucky. I got lucky. Now, I get to roll these dice. At least one. Okay, it didn't get me anything anyway. But I tried. Didn't end up mattering. I didn't roll any mice anyway. Alright, American Goldfinch. Now you get to be played.
American Goldfinch. Goldfinches breed late after the milkweed and thistle have gone to seed.
Hey, and we got lucky that this American Coot, because I'd like to play another bird in the wetlands, since that's the bonus for this round. It eats the grain, which is good, because I can actually leverage that thing I did. I'm going to grab the Peregrine Falcon as well, since I have a bonus for birds that eat rodents. And life is tough as a rodent. You're just like scampering around and a giant bird comes and picks you up from out of the sky. It's the stuff of nightmares. Alright, let's lay down the American Coot. Actually, I want to use the cherry. There we go.
American Coot. These omnivorous birds eat a lot of algae, but also seeds, fish, insects, and mollusks.
Alright, now we can lay eggs for 2 turns again. I might not need to. Let's take a look at everybody else's board. Yeah, you only got 1 egg. Yo, let me look at the other players. There we go. Yeah, you only got 1 egg. Ooh, you got 6. And you take your turn after me, so your max is 7. And you got nothing. So you could beat me with 1 more egg. Yeah, I kind of wanted to take this starbird, but it's fine. I'll just lay eggs. But what I'm gonna do, his max is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. So let's put 8 in here, just in case. And put the last one here, so we start building them for the next round. Ah, I could have laid the egg on the other bird and then had a slot for this free egg, but I didn't know it was coming. Yep. So he did lay an egg to get 7, and I beat him with 8. Alright, any good birds to take? Maybe the loggerhead strike? Maybe? It's not a huge draw. Alright, well, let's grab a rodent. I need to use an egg so I can leverage that ability. Alright, let's just play this peregrine falcon now. And we'll use the 2 cherries as the wild card.
Peregrine falcon. Diving to attack. A peregrine falcon can reach speeds up to 200 miles per hour.
Hey, alright, we got a starbird, but it's only for the grasslands. Ideally, I would like another bird in the forest to get some better food. But it also eats mice, so I gotta get it. Alright, so we'll tuck the shrike. Grab something else. Okay, we can work with that. We might get a free cherry from that other bird ability. The tricky bit is that I don't have enough turns to lay a bunch of eggs here. I'm really counting on that thing coming along and giving me a free egg. Okay, that's good. I didn't actually want to play this bird here, though. But, given the way things are going, I think I'm going to.
Wild turkey. Wild turkeys were domesticated in the Americas before European contact.
Turkeys are weird. Alright, that's at least some eggs. I don't know if I'm gonna win. Yeah. Oh well. My bad. What? Yeah, I rolled these dice like several times and only got 2 points out of it. Lame.
Burrowing owl. These owls often use old prairie dog burrows for their underground nests.
Alright, I guess let's lay a bunch of eggs. Give me a free cherry. Okay, I'm gonna fill up all my bird slots. That's pretty good. I really didn't play many birds, and I still didn't win that round. Oh, I didn't have a lot of bowl nests, so I got a lot of eggs. But I think taking the hit on round bonuses, bird values. Oh, I did okay bird values, so I might do all right because I have some tucked cards and cached food. Nice. Yeah, 90 is a pretty decent score. Now, I think we'll do a little building. Yeah, I guess we'll do a little bit of building. I don't really have anything else to show off. Elden Ring Night Rain is coming out soon. Very pleasing sounds. Coffee time. Must have coffee. Alright, let's make something over here. Let's call it another neighborhood of some kind. Kind of like this one, where there's a gap here and then right here along the bridge. Or maybe this neighborhood should be different. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'll like make it a little weird. Let's see. What if I made like another like bridge here and then built stuff along the sides and then there was a gap? I don't know. It's tricky though. Nah, it's okay. We'll just create a little path. So maybe this corner can connect up to something. And then where's the other path going to connect to? I might need to make one somewhere. Yeah, maybe like pull it out from here. That could work. It's interesting how this adjacency on the outside affected the interior. That's really interesting. Why would it do that? I have no idea. So it feels nice and clean if I bring it into here, but I need to come up with a solution for the fact that this is an enclosed area. So I could bring a path on the outside. I think that does work. But I don't like it as much. I might go with this approach instead. Drag this out and see how I can make this happen. There we go. That'll do, pig. And then if we want to have some fun with it, let's expand this, give it a little breathing room. And let's give this a little space. Cool. Alright, well, we should probably make another kind of like uniform color, bigger building here to match with these. That seems appropriate. Let's do let's do an orange one. You can straddle too. Something like this. Yeah, this is kind of neat. I like this. Yeah, that works. Cool. So it's like right on the border into this neighborhood. So it fits in, but it'll also be close with these new buildings that'll come online now. Okay, so what type of neighborhood do I want over here? I don't know. Maybe I could do something that like is kind of like a grassy circle on the outside, and then I fill it in inside with stuff like this that's like layered and whatever. I don't know if that works though. I think the grass on the outside disappears if you make like an interior space that's enclosed. I guess I could try real quick just to find out. Like just to use this for example. So if I make like something in here that's entirely enclosed. Seems okay. I don't get stairs though. Yeah, I think something along those lines where the first layer is like just pathing, but the tricky bit is that in order for grass to show up, it's got to be entirely enclosed, like it's a castle town with an outer wall. And so otherwise I end up with something, you know, that looks like this, where it's just surface street. Oh, that's a cool shape. I like it. Now, how I wish I had a fill tool. So much clicking. Gotta hire an intern or something. Hey, intern, do all this clicking for me. I wonder, yeah, if like, maybe even just like a feature of the mouse that just like clicks automatically. I'm sure my mouse software supports something like that. Wonder if I should carve it in half and have like water going through it with grass on both sides. Maybe. We can decide that after we get the first layer in. Man, at this point, I can't imagine the ecological consequences to this city. We're just eating up all this water. Maybe, like, taking over some coral reefs. Who knows? Well, you know. Gotta have space for all these humans. Gotta get dressed for work. I think I said a while back that I was going to put some background tunes on when I play like something like this, which doesn't have the chill music. I don't think I have any soundtracks on my my PC or like access to music. I'd have to use like YouTube or something where there would be commercials. I'm like a third of the way done. Jeez. So another strategy can be just click wildly, but let's just try it out for a little bit. The game has a little bit of time before it registers a second click while it does the animation. So that actually isn't that useful of a strategy. But what I was going to see is, like, because there's a downside to it where you might end up stacking things on top of each other, needing to undo a lot. And then also in the process, maybe miss where there's a gap in the water because you've built buildings alongside it. So doing these little lines is actually pretty efficient. This would be a good example of a time when, for like a YouTube video of this, I could speed it up. I won't, because I'm lazy. You know, and anyone who's watching my YouTube content, I always feel that they could do what I do sometimes and just use like the 10-second fast forward button. Or 10-second skip button, not fast forward. And just like, you know, do that enough times until it looks like the person has gotten to where you are waiting for them to go. Because if you're really like doing YouTube hands off and just like leaving your phone down while you like cook or something, I mean, what do you care if it takes longer? It's just background noise. For our broken brains. I ordinarily wouldn't say this on a stream, but since I got a few seconds where I got nothing else to do, like I saw a few movies in the last few days, and like in one of them, I was surrounded by youth, like people in their early 20s, and in the other one, it was just one person that was in their early 20s, like right next to me. And it was a scary experience. Like anytime there was like a slightly, like, I don't want to use the word dull because it's insulting to filmmaking, but you know, a moment where there wasn't the screen wasn't being bombarded with new information. All the people in their early 20s like started fidgeting. In the first movie I saw, I had to like plug my ear with my finger, rest my hand on my shoulder, my head on my hand, and like use my finger to plug my ear because they were like making noises in the down moments. It's freaky. And it wasn't a neurodivergence thing because they had full conversations before the movie started. And just behaved totally normally. But when there was a drop in, you know, dopamine release during the movie, there was a struggle to get it back. You know, that like explorer's fidget of like, you know, maybe if I do something, I can expose myself to something new. Which evolution probably gave us for like seeing what was around the corner. Maybe there's a meadow over there with resources for us to survive on. So it's worthwhile to like check out, see if there's something new over there. But a couple, you know, some 1,000 years later, now that part of our brain is being co-opted for like, you know, if this second and a half of this short video is not exciting enough, just scroll to the next one. Okay. Big green area. Now I can stop saying things that'll get me canceled. I mean, I'm not criticizing or blaming anyone. We're all products of our environment, myself included. I realize I just took over the bridge. Didn't really mean to do that, but it's not exactly the worst thing because I could just count, you know, it could be an inside bridge. If I really wanted to, I could move this in a layer. Nah. Or make the bridge like this. Okay, fine. Just to have a path on the outside, why not? And if we're doing that, create a little square here, sure. Okay, so I had a thought related to maybe cutting it in half and having two areas separated by water, and then let's see, I'd have to build a first layer on each side, and then above that I could do stuff, but because of that you might not see the water that much. Let's see, let's see if I follow this path up here. I want something that creates like a pseudo straight line. There we go. That looks good. That might connect. It gets a little tricky here. That isn't exactly the division I had in mind. Okay, that kind of works. Maybe I'll leave a 2-tile channel. Ooh, you know what would be cool? If I did a 3-tile channel, then I could have water down the middle with surrounded by like a, path. It's kind of cool. I would build on top of it, of course, for the most part, leaving some gaps. I did a good job leaving a 2-tile thing here. It's like 2-tile almost the entire way. So if I just follow the same line, and I can make it 3. Let's do that. I should make this a different color, the divider down the middle. If the outside is going to be like, yeah, this pinkish color, and maybe make the middle green. Okay, that should be pretty good. Oops. Why is this presented so funny? Oh, I guess it just takes time to recognize. Neat. Okay, yeah, that's okay. I can live with how that looks. Now I do want this to be a different color. Should have been paying attention instead of bad-mouthing the youth. Though, of course, I didn't mean that to be exclusively applied to the youth. But it is different what you experience in your formative ages versus when you're older. Okay. Now I kind of want to have these like, mini areas that are elevated within the grass, still leaving some grass, otherwise this whole enterprise was pointless. Let's go with blue. So let's leave this grass and let's like create something maybe in like a little circle here. I don't really want it to be so precise that it's like exactly one tile away from the other wall. I kind of want it to weave in and out a little bit. I can start there and then maybe like come in one, go back out, come back in. There we go. That looks better. We'll leave that green untouched so we won't really go too far that way. Take that square, come back over, maybe come back a little bit. So this doesn't have to be enclosed, but it could be. So I have options here. I'm going to want to make like second and third level connections between these regions. That's going to be the fun part, is that they're overlapping regions. I could even connect the sort of surrounding wall too. Because anything I do up above shouldn't affect the grass, it seems. It's kind of cool looking. It's different than my other neighborhoods, which is kind of the goal. And already there's plenty of housing space and room to maneuver, so it kind of succeeds on that front. Alright, we do need some like pathways over this water. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe like here where it's kind of tight. That's too tight. Here. I kind of like the way that's curved. That's very pleasing. Here. Here. Yeah, it looks pretty good. If I wanted to, I could make this whole thing, yeah, like this. And then stairs to get up. Is it possible to do that? What if I did this? Yeah. Oh, but oh man, it changes the entire lower level because of the fact that you're creating stairs as if you're connecting them. Fascinating. Well, then I wouldn't want to do that here, but I could do it on the interior. Like if I did this. I like that. I still got the grass on the outside. But then I can do layers in here. And there's a path to get up. I like that a lot. Alright, so let's do this right here on the edge. Why did the stairs go away? Because of the fact that it's no longer a surface up here? We'll fix that. Now I should... How many do I need to fix that? There we go. But no stairs? Alright, I'm gonna have to play with this to get this to work the way I want. Oops. Okay, anything like this might work. I actually kind of like the shape here. So there's a pathway up, which is cool. Alright, I'm approaching making it one tile wide. Maybe hollow out a little bit of space here. I don't know. All right, let's make a connection to this wall. How do I want this to work? I kind of want to create like a layer that goes on top. Yeah, first things first, I should probably make this one high for now, so I can work with it. So if I want to make like extend one and then switch to this color. Was it this one? Yeah. And what I want to find out is if I do it like this. Yeah, okay, cool. I do create like a surface. Yikes. Well, I lost my stairs. Alright, so we need a gap. Oh boy. Alright, we'll get back to the stairs. If I extend this now, let's do it like over here in the middle. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like this. We can create these little layers. I think that's a fun idea. Okay. So I kind of feel like, and I could also connect it to the outer wall too. So we have a lot of options, and I kind of want to figure out also how I want to do this interior. How much surface I want versus how much grass. I don't think I really want all that much grass inside these things, because I'll leave this grass surrounding them. You know, just enough grass to like register to the eye that there's grass, but you know, certainly different from this, which is like clearly like a, you know, rural type, not like rural exactly, but a preserved, you know, grassy area. Whereas this is like the idea that a town is built on top of a layer of, you know, grass to start with, rather than just surface like the other ones are. Because it's, you can't get grass, it seems, in this game other than having a walled area. So something like this here, and then maybe like another one here, and then another one or two here. That should still leave enough grass to register. And then on top of that, I can connect them all in funky ways. I can connect the ones on each side to each other, and then I can connect them to the middle, and then I connect them to the outside walls. And if I do that, I can probably create 3 or 4 layers. The only issue is I always run out of space in the upper layers, because the base layer has to be so expansive to allow for clusters of tiles in each rung of the pyramid, such that when you get to the top, you still have some width to work with. Whereas even here already, you know, I'm starting to be constrained where like these exterior components might only be a tile or 2 wide, which means the next layer doesn't have any room to work with. So I'll have to play with that. But, you know, the only real solution to that is to make the bottom space as big as it possibly can be, which is why I made this one big. You know, like it's the size of an entire neighborhood. And I intended that. But even then, it's not like big enough to make an arbitrarily tall district. I could probably only do like 3 layers before I run out of space. Because you need to have areas that are like 2 by 2 or greater in order to convert them to surface. Otherwise, they're just the rooftops. So, but I love the way this looks. I love the way, and I, although it takes away from the amount of grass and space we have to work with, the fact that it's divided down the middle with a pathway to walk along and like little bridges to get over the channel, and then layers on top of that. There'll be a few of them. That's pretty cool. I think that looks nice. And we could imagine that there's some function to this channel too. Like certainly people, you know, we can imagine it being wide enough for individual boats to go down. And maybe like as they're going down, you know, they temporarily like dock along the side and, you know, deliver things so that not everything has to come, I don't know, through the surface. So it's cool. It's a different type of district than the others. This one here is an enclosed grassy area, but it's almost like we got some houses for the very few people that are going to get to live there, or just public storage or public spaces or whatever. But this one's going to be like a layered city. So this is kind of like a combination of this castle town district and this like rural one. So the question is, do I want to keep going, or do I want to like come back to this tomorrow or whenever? I might call it a stream and get to some other stuff and then come back to this next time I get around to it. That way, because I did the initial part of setting this structure up, and it kind of feels like my brain is feeling like I'm switching to a different form of creative thought. Now I got the structure up. Now I got to like come up with these little elevated regions and connect them together in layers that look interesting. Very similar to what we did in this neighborhood, where there were all these like layers with little steps to get up, but overlapping slightly, so it doesn't look like the castle town where everything is in like a pyramid shape. It's more overlapping, which is kind of what I want to do here. I don't want it to be like pyramidal totally. I want it to feel like the layers are connected in funky ways. That's gonna require a different type of thought than the starting of this. So I kind of want to like start fresh next time, and not. And I think that's what I'm gonna do. So. Have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you soon.